Okay, here's our topic, making solutions. Here's some important information if you need it. I'm going to create some solutions. That's what it's going to look like in the end, all right? That's our goal, and we want to know what are the steps that we're going to do it. Dilution is basically you take a stock solution and you water it down, most often with acids. A dissolution is when you start with a solid, typically. You can use it with other phases, and you add it to a solvent and dissolve it. Now, this flowchart is going to show you like the steps all in one. Both times you're going to start with a volumetric flask that's good ways from being filled, so about halfway, all right? That's of the solvent, typically water. You're going to measure your solute using a scale, and then you're going to add it until it's dissolved. This is dissolution. Then you're going to add water to your volumetric flask, and then you have your solution. Now, technically, you have a solution when you've dissolved, but you want your solution to be probably at a certain molarity, and that's why you're going to add the amount of water to the meniscus line on the neck of the flask. Now, the other way starts in the same manner. Dilution starts in the same manner as dissolution. However, with dilution, you're going to start with a stock solution, get some of it. Here it's showing a pipette and a pump. Sometimes people use graduated cylinders. It really depends upon how exact you want to be in terms of the molarity. And you're going to add that to the solvent. This method, it's very important to add it to acid to water. Now I've got on my solution, and I'm going to make it at the right molarity by doing the same thing, adding the water up to that meniscus line. Here are the steps. Once again, half full volumetric flask, get your solute, add it to your volumetric flask, dissolve it. You've got your solution there. It's not at the right molarity because that's why you're using a volumetric flask. So you add solvent to it, and there's our solution at a correct molarity. Now, dilution, you're gonna, same thing, but instead of adding solid, you're gonna add a solution, a concentrated solution to your volumetric flask, and there I've got it. And then I add solvent again up to the correct amount, and there's our final solution, all right? Now here's just what it's gonna look like in lab. There are a couple steps here that are kind of subtle, and you, like a finesse kind of thing that are not listed before. So you're going to use some sort of weighing tray or weighing paper for the mass of your solute. You're going to get the water in this volumetric flask, all right? Once again, half full. I think it's good to always add this at an angle because you're less likely to spill it over the top if you do it at an angle. If you get some stuck on the side, use a spray bottle with your solvent. It's probably going to be water, and spray it down in. Get it into the bottom, the base of the flask. Add your stir bar. Remember, you're going to slide that in too. And then you're going to put it on your stir bar hot plate. You might heat it, you might not. It's kind of solute dependent. So you might need to decide as the dissolution process is going. You don't want a lot of heat, but you want to add it until it's dissolved. Once it's dissolved, you got to get rid of that stir bar. What a great title, Magnetic Stir Bar Remover. Get it, and then be sure to rinse it after you've gotten your stir bar out. Rinse it off because you've got solution on the sides of that stir bar. All right, then you're going to fill it up to the meniscus line. There it is. Get that volume right at the right level. Often people use a pipette. It's like a little disposable one with their solvent, and that gives them a real accurate amount in the actual flask, as you can see. All right. Now with dilution, it's going to look very similar to dissolution, except on the second step, we're going to use our pipette to get our solute, which is already in a stock solution. All right, you can see it. This is an acid, and you're going to add it like that. All right. You might use a funnel to add the rest of your solvent up to the meniscus line, and then use a pipette again to get it at the right amount. Ooh, get it at the right amount in that neck. All right, so some tips. This one is probably the most important. Always add acid to water, concentrated to water. It can be a very exothermic reaction depending on the concentration. Label and date, with the when it was made, what it is. Remember, less than final volume, and you may need a little heat. All right, what's Dr. Square's analogy? So I'm assuming he means making a sourdough starter, thing you use for sourdough bread. Well, let's see where he goes with this one. All right, he borrowed my wife's starter. And how are they similar? Here are the two ways, dissolution and dilution. I guess, let's see. Oh, here are the two ways that you can make a starter. The top one is called splitting. That's where you're taking what is known as a mother starter and you're adding flour to make your own. Like you take a little bit and then you feed it. And then you basically have a new starter. The other one is called cultivation, where you take flour and water and you let them open to air and hopefully capture yeast and bacteria, or capture the living organisms that make the starter. This starter on the top here is actually from 1895 from Alaska, sourdough Jack starter. And here they are. These two, you're making it from scratch. And these two, you have something pre-made and you're kind of using that to make it again. Here are my sources.